I'm really excited about this video, if y'all can't tell already. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are creating 5 very iconic Tim Burton characters. I don't know why I look bald-headed, y'all. I'm so sorry for that. I promise y'all I'm not bald, okay? These locks are not attached to this bandana. So the first character I'm going to be creating today is going to be Jack Skellington. I would consider Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas and Halloween movie, but that's just me, okay? I'm freezing. So we're gonna put this on our shoulders, okay? I showed you guys my jammies, and that's the character we're gonna start off with today. So Jack is very much an undead gentleman. He's graceful and patient and can be counted on to do what is in everyone's best interest. He is the Pumpkin King, okay? He's like the mayor of Halloween Town. There is a mayor, but it's not Jack. The mayor looks up to Jack, basically. Though logic in his sound, his reasoning can be questioned at times. He was quite thorough in his Christmas research, but opted to go with what his friends wanted to do, basically, and decided to give Santa Claus a year off and take over for him for Christmas that year. He also is pretty oblivious to Sally's feelings for him throughout the movie, showing that while he is one of the more intelligent citizens of Halloween Town, he's pretty oblivious to people's feelings. He can't really read the room, I think we should say, and he's kind of obsessive about things, not really people, or not people. None of them are people. This is backed up by the fact that he didn't recognize Santa's distress when he first met him. It seems that Jack may be slightly naive at times, as shown when he trusted that Lock, Shock, and Barrel would simply bring Santa Claus to him without causing any trouble, despite them being in cahoots with the boogeyman, Oogie Boogie. Rest in peace to the man who played him. The voice actor for Oogie Boogie, or the boogeyman in Nightmare Before Christmas, Ken Page, he actually just passed away pretty recently. Also, he didn't really realize the chaos that he was causing on Christmas Eve until the very end, when it was way too late, okay? He was like 5-star Grand Theft Auto by the time he realized something was wrong. But he eventually came to his senses. Jack almost never loses his temper and hardly ever raises his voice, but he was unable to contain his contempt for Oogie Boogie and did not hesitate to severely punish his old foe for endangering his friends. The closest he ever got to losing his temper was with Lock, Shock, and Barrel for abducting the Easter Bunny instead of Santa Claus. In that part of the movie, in that scene, Lock, Shock, and Barrel started to fight amongst each other, argue and bicker, push each other, and Jack roared at them, I guess growled at them, and made a scary face, which, you know, made them tuck their tails and run to go find the real Santa Claus, okay, and put the Easter Bunny back where he belongs. It's also shown that Jack enjoys things that are new to him. He quickly became delighted with the idea of Christmas and grew increasingly excited as Christmas was being remade in Halloween Town, just as he pictured. Like I was saying earlier, he is a little bit obsessive, and that is definitely shown throughout the entire movie of how he obsessed over Christmas and the idea of Christmas, and he was just kind of fed up with the old same old for Halloween, and he wanted something new, okay? So he went with Christmas, the complete opposite. He's also highly optimistic and very particular about how he wants things to go. He wants everything to be perfect, in line, in order, exactly how he imagined it. He's also humble enough to admit that he has failed and is willing to hand back the reins to Santa Claus in order to rectify everything so that Christmas can be saved. Now, Jack Skellington was hard to make, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I don't have any particular skeleton items that would have looked good enough for Jack Skellington, so he ended up looking like a person who just dressed up for Jack Skellington for Halloween, which there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just how he came out. I think the same kind of goes for a couple of other characters, which you'll see later. And then as far as like his outfit, it seems that all of the suits and suit tops that I had, none of them were striped, okay? I had like one with the black and tiny white stripes, just one. And none that really had like the long drapery. Well, I don't even know what they call like the little booty things in the back. The little flaps in the back. I don't even know. His outfit was pretty hard to do. And then I gave him like 3 everyday outfits. One with him having no hair. So like he could be a person who has a bald cap on, or like an actual bald man. And then I gave him 2 other outfits with 2 different hairstyles that I thought were kind of fitting. One that was kind of slick back, and another one that, it was a mullet, I believe. And so the one with the mullet, he looks like Bill Skarsgård is in a movie called The Crow. And she was saying that's kind of what he looks like with that hair. So I definitely agree. And then with the slick back-ish hair, he kind of looks like Evan Peters in one of the AHS seasons. He looks like him. Moving on to another character that is from Nightmare Before Christmas, and of course it's going to be Sally. This video was kind of a mix between iconic duos and iconic characters. You guys will see what I mean with the last character, but for the second one, I'm going to be creating Sally Skellington. Sally is kind, sensible, honest, and incredibly clever. She was created by Dr. Finkelstein, Halloween Town's resident mad scientist, yet the relationship is rather tense, as Finkelstein insists that Sally stay under lock and key under the pretext of protecting her from her excitement for Halloween. However, Sally is restless and is intrigued by the wonders of the outside world. And so she's like, you know, just like that princess kind of vibe, trapped in a tower. I want to get out, explore the world, you know, because all they've ever known is their tower. So in this restlessness, or more specifically her desire for something better in her life, she's drawn to Jack Skellington. At the beginning of the movie, she idolizes him and admires Jack, much like any of the other female members of Halloween Town. However, she quickly discovers that they are connected by a desire for something more in their lives, and her feelings for him intensify. The two refer to each other as friends, though like I said before, Jack seems pretty oblivious to her true feelings for him, as she's too shy to make them known other than through her sweet actions. Sally is an expert at needlework and keeps a needle and thread on her at all times. As shown in the movie, it does often come in handy when she just simply falls apart. She's like a sewn together rag doll, so she would need to fix herself up whenever she falls apart or whenever her seams are loose. Her skills are well appreciated, as evidenced by Jack's request for her to tailor him a Santa Claus outfit. She also has other skills such as brewing and potion making, which she uses to create like a sleep kind of potion to get to Dr. Finkelstein so that she can escape. And she seems to have kind of like psychic prophetess kind of tendencies. She knew from the beginning that Jack getting all entangled in Christmas and trying to recreate Christmas was not a good idea. She had like a vision when she was holding the rose and it turned into like a little brittle thing and crisped. Basically, it just kind of shriveled up. So she tried to warn him and he of course wasn't listening. He didn't want to hear it. He was obsessing over it. But in the end of the movie, Jack and Sally do end up being together. He finally comes to his senses and realizes, oh, she likes me like that. So they end up being together. Literally every year I watch Nightmare Before Christmas. That's just one of those yearly things that I do. If you also watch The Nightmare Before Christmas around Halloween and Christmas, let me know in the comments, okay? I was so upset, y'all, because it took me, I want to say 15 minutes of scrolling through my own CC just to find out I have absolutely nothing in terms of like patchwork dresses. I didn't have anything that was suitable, okay? So I took off the CC filter, immediately saw a dress with patches on it. I don't know why I thought that was CC, but my mind had seen it before, but it just didn't register that that was a part of the cats and dogs pack. So that's what I used for Sally's dress. Perfect, beautiful. And then of course I gave her the stitch look all over her face. I did have to go back though and find some stitches for her face because she wasn't looking like Sally at all. And another thing, the eyes were throwing me off so bad, but I think it all came together in the end. Making the pupils really small was a really weird thing for me because I normally make the pupils of my Sims really big or pretty big. So that was a little strange, but I really like how Sally came out. She's really cute. So moving on to the next Sim, I'm going to be recreating two characters from Beetlejuice. Of course, the first one is going to be Beetlejuice, okay? I have not seen the second movie, so I'm not going to be talking about the second movie. I just have never seen it. Okay, I'm talking about the original, the OG Beetlejuice 1 movie. A little bit about Beetlejuice. He is a charismatic, cynical, and womanizing ghost. I wouldn't say he's womanizing, I would say he's a pervert. But that's just me. And he also gets a little crazy at times. And I wouldn't even say a little. I would say he's pretty crazy all the time. He's erratic, he's insane, he's always goofing off. He's never taking anything seriously. He likes to use unpopular words. I don't know what they mean by unpopular words on this wiki, but he's pretty vulgar. He's very vulgar, actually. Not only that, he loves to scare people, of course, and play pranks on people. He has an attitude, according to the wiki, of a sleazy used car salesman. I wouldn't really have any experience with the sleazy used car salesman, so I couldn't back that claim, but he definitely is sleazy, yes. The wiki states that he was alive during the Black Plague, so I don't really know how he died, but he's a very old ghost. As shown in the movie, he likes to eat bugs and yeah, he's just a very nasty dude, okay? He's very icky, he's very nasty, Despite his neutral nature, Beetlejuice or Beetlegeist is usually a benefactor. He mostly acts as a force of good. I wouldn't say that. I don't know what this wiki is talking about, but the Beetlejuice I know just likes to scare people for fun. He has really no real intentions of helping anyone but himself, and he just gets off the idea of scaring anyone. He'll scare other ghosts, like in the movie, he'll scare humans, he'll scare whoever, okay? He also shows an interest in Lydia during most of the movie, and also Barbara when he first meets the couple, but he tries to marry her so that he can be alive again, which I don't know how that works, but apparently he was gonna come back to life if he was to marry Lydia. Beetlejuice, like I said, is very icky, very nasty, but since Jack Skellington kind of gave off a person dressed up as Jack, I decided to go ahead and give Beetlejuice a femme look, as you will have seen by now, and I made him just look like somebody who's dressed up as Beetlejuice for Halloween. Super cool, super sexy. Okay, I really like the top. I thought that one was perfect because it came with the stripes. I wanted to go for his iconic striped suit look because that is literally the epitome of Beetlejuice, but it wasn't working for me. I wasn't having it, so I gave smaller stripes, just a little bit reminiscent of Beetlejuice in terms of the outfit. The face is where all the details come together, with the green hair and the nasty stuff all over the face. I don't even know what that is. Moss, puke, who knows, okay? But he has a very nasty looking face, so that's what I tried to go for. Probably like a week and a half ago, I found this picture. It was a CC creator who created a top and some pants, but I didn't care about that. I wanted the hair. So when I found out who created the hair, literally by luck, got onto Pinterest one day and I saw the locks. So I went ahead and downloaded them, downloaded some more locks from that creator, which that hair will also be linked. Their locks are beautiful. I wanted to use a different hair, but it just wasn't doing it for me. If I was going to use like a short kind of shaggy look for Beetlejuice, it'd have to have that grayish gray and green to it. I tried a lot of hairs and none of them worked for me. Let me know how you liked Beetlejuice. One thing I will say though, if I create a femme version, rarely will you ever see me, or never, upload a video to follow that up to have them in their male version. Basically, one, I really don't have a lot of CC to make those sims as good as I would like, and I don't make a lot of male sims. I don't know what it is. I can't make cute male sims. I've gotten lucky a couple times, but in terms of recreating male characters, that's a lot harder for me. I do it obviously, but if I have the option to create a femme version and I know she's gonna come out better, I'd rather do that. I don't have any worm CC, so I did use a snake in place of the sandworm. So I gave Beetlejuice a sandworm snake around her body, and I gave Lydia some snake details as well, but we're gonna pretend it's snake. We're gonna pretend they're sandworms. Here's what we'll do. Since I can't think of a secret word, and I want to stop giving secret words where you guys are forced to include a comment about a sim you may not have even liked just because they're my favorite, just leave a comment on who your favorite character was. Next, we're going to be creating Lydia Dietz. There's not that much about her, so I'm going to quickly read what I have about her and then get into the sim. Okay, so Lydia is an irritable but friendly girl who is sensitive beyond her goth dress and feels isolated in the world. Her father and stepmother really don't pay that much attention to her and don't really take anything she says seriously, and they often ignore her for their own selfish pursuits. Especially the stepmother, she's very selfish, very much into her own art and doesn't really care what anybody else has going on. Lydia loves writing poetry, taking photographs, and loves anything pertaining to the supernatural and paranormal. I really like the iconic line, "I myself am strange and unusual." I think Beetlejuice is also one of the movies that I watch around Halloween time, like almost every year if I can. It's just something I grew up with, so I find it very easy to just rewatch it. It's hilarious. Despite her young age, Lydia Dietz seems to be the most sensible in her household, though in her dark personality, she has a dark sense of humor to her. She also has a certain flair for being dramatic, particularly when she's talking about herself. By the end of the film, she's more happy and well-adjusted because Adam and Barbara become her parental figures. Basically, they step in alongside with Charles and Delia, making a stronger household in her upbringing after they all witnessed Beetlejuice try to marry her. Okay, so for Lydia, definitely wanted to give her the iconic Lydia Dietz hairstyle. I knew I already had a couple different versions and I ended up going with the alpha version. I prefer alpha over most other custom content. Max's mix is okay, and Max's match is usually like my last option. It's nothing wrong with it, I just prefer the way alpha looks, and normally when I do like a group of characters, I try to make them look cohesive. So if the first sim I make is gonna have Max's match hair, I try to do the other sims the same way. Basically, it doesn't have to be that way, but that's just what I prefer. Really, I kind of want to go back for my Monster High sims and give them makeovers. We'll see how that goes. The hair I picked for Lydia was by Leah Lilith. Gorgeous alpha CC hair creator. I love their CC so freaking stinking much, obviously because I have like every hairstyle they have ever made. And then her outfit, I downloaded the dress that she had on with the intentions of using it for her everyday outfit, and I definitely wanted to include her iconic red wedding dress with the red veil, so I did have to download some red veils before I completed Lydia. Other than that, I had everything else already, and I think she came together really nicely. She's so cute. Oh yeah, I also gave Lydia a camera. I didn't have any black cameras. If you guys have made it this far, I want to thank you so much for watching. The last character I'm going to be creating today is Emily from Corpse Bride. I've only seen this movie like a couple times. I wouldn't say I'm a huge Tim Burton fan. That's not at all true, okay? I'm iffy about that man in particular. Emily is a kind, gullible, and sweet young deceased woman who has a kind heart. While she's rather fun-loving and easygoing, Emily can easily feel guilty for other situations indirectly caused by her and often shows nostalgic moments after arriving to the land of the living. She's also prone to jealousy and being emotional. So the little bit I do know about Emily, of course, if you haven't seen it, so sorry, she ends up dying because her husband ends up killing her right after they get married. But Emily's willing to give her whole heart to those she cares for and would even sacrifice her own happiness to help them, as evidenced when she stopped Victor Van Dort from killing himself, then willingly steps aside and lets Victoria be with him. She was very jealous of Victoria and began to lament about her own death and believed that Victor didn't love her because she wasn't alive, showing that she gets upset easily when he probably just didn't love her because he didn't know her. And really, when she died, she probably was just in that same mindset of her death, like those emotions from being betrayed, I guess, by her ex-husband. She's just an unhappy soul basically lingering the earth. So she was actually going to marry Victor, but she saw how unhappy Victoria was and actually ended up saving Victoria from marrying Burton, which would have led to her demise as well. From my memory, he was marrying women whose families had a lot of money, I think, and he was stealing their money. She saved her from that same fate. So at the end of the movie, she stops the wedding, she takes off the wedding band, and it says that she turns into a million butterflies and descends into the moonlight, implying that she's now at peace, which, so happy for her. I'm so glad she found peace at the end of that movie. I hope Barkus has the ending he deserves, which I don't remember what it was, but I hope he got what he deserved. So Emily's dress was really hard to replicate. I don't know how or why or what happened, but I swear I had a dress that was specifically made for her, but I couldn't find it. Or maybe I just never downloaded it and I thought I did, okay? Also couldn't find any like open cheek situations as far as skin details, so I did my very best with like skin overlays and dirt overlays and all of that. And I did a lot of the eye contouring and stuff like that, the eye sockets, to make her look like she's half skeletonized or partly skeletonized. Because I'm so disappointed about the dress situation. Everything else came out fine. I ended up using one of the veils that I downloaded for Lydia because I didn't really have that many. I had a couple, but none of them were sufficient enough for me. Her hair was a little bit difficult to recreate. I had to choose between either more wavy or middle part because she has a little bit of a side-ish part, I think, but I had to choose between either the part situation or like the hair tucked behind the ears, more or less wavy. It was a little difficult, okay, but I did my best. I think she came out really cute though, if I'm being real. Far away, she looks just like Emily far away, if you made it this far. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know who your favorite character was. I'm so very thankful for everyone, and this journey has been amazing so far. I want to give a special thanks to all my patrons for their continuous love and support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.